Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I wanted to answer a couple of questions, in this audio. So it's gonna be about various topics. Um, the one I'm gonna start with is gonna be how do you know you are healed? How do you know you're healed regarding an ex? Was the actual question. Healing, like I explained in an audio, is not only about a person. So you may be over a certain person or even resentful to them, not think about them ever, but you are not healed from the stuff that happened during the relationship. You're not healed from the things that happened to you, and you're still viewing yourself as a victim. And as long as you see yourself as this big victim and you think about yourself in a ways, you know, when you are overthinking things and you are thinking about the stuff that happened to you and how it wasn't fair, and you are only like seeing it from a certain perspective that's very negative, that is how you know you're not healed. One of the ways to know you're not healed. So every single bad experience we go through is for a reason, and it's for us to grow, learn a lesson, and change our perspective ultimately. And don't see ourselves as victims, but as someone who went through something and learned something and got stronger from it. And we no longer, when we look at a certain event that happened, let's say somebody cheated on you, and when you, of course, you're always going to remember it, you're not going to forget it, and sometimes you will think about it. It doesn't mean that you're not healed. If you sometimes think about the stuff that happened during your life, that's normal. You shouldn't be ignoring the things that happened to you or talk about things that happened to you. You shouldn't be pretending they didn't, okay? But when you look back on them, you are not feeling that negative victim mentality thoughts and feelings. You are fully aware what happened, but you don't associate yourself with that pain. You are kind of you're kind of that's kind of behind you. It's kind of in the past, and you no longer have that emotional connection with that event. So you're looking at it from a different perspective, like you are, I don't know, a third person, second person, other person, but basically kind of looking at it. Yes, that happened to me. I was cheated on, but I'm so strong, and like I don't even, I'm not sad about it anymore. I'm not attached to that anymore. I don't have trust issues because of it. It only made me who I am now, stronger, better, and that's kind of how you're healed. And then, if you want to know regarding an ex, for example, and then again, you have to keep in mind that healing after a breakup is not just about the person, it's about healing the stuff that happened, the stuff that, triggered you, the stuff that made you feel like a victim. But one way to kind of know is when you see your ex somewhere on a photo maybe or somewhere. Do you know how when you are not healed, when you see that person, whether you still want the person and miss the person, or you're over the person and you don't think about the person, but they just kind of trigger you when you see them, you feel triggered. So basically what's going to happen, you're going to feel anxiety when you see them, you're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to get that feeling in your stomach, or you're even going to get a panic attack. So that is how you know you are not healed as well. Okay, so anyways, I hope this helps, and let's go into the next question. So the next question was about the audio I made yesterday, and I made an audio where I talked about, among other things, how if somebody has a really negative perspective of magic and is afraid of it, they shouldn't use it themselves, or hiring somebody else. So to kind of clarify that audio, here's the thing. People have different opinions about magic, and some are more open to it, and some are very much thinking it's wrong and bad and are scared of it. And that is perfectly normal because magic is usually portrayed as something to be afraid of, something demonic, something weird, something that you shouldn't be using, something that if you use it, you're gonna sell your soul or you're gonna get some karma or whatever. Now, um, like I said, my goal is not to convince anybody in anything. Everybody has free will and they can decide for themselves, and that's what I want everybody to do. So, whatever you feel, if you really don't want to do it, but you're very desperate, and that's the only reason why you would go for it, don't do it. And that's my recommendation always. Okay. Now, about magic. Here's the thing. There is dark magic, there is black magic, and the problem is that a lot of people are only seeing magic as that one side, the dark one, because I don't know, we're kind of used to it. Every single religion tells us that, magic is bad, magic is dark, magic is connected with, Satanism. Magic is just something you shouldn't be mess around with. And I understand that, but here's the thing. There's a difference between good and bad. There's a difference between white and black. And every single religion in their churches or temples or their places of worship, they perform rituals, guys. They light candles, they pray, they have an intention, and miracles happen there. It's a fact. Miracles happen in holy places, in places of worship. Miracles happen quite often. So, what do you think that is? That is also white magic. And we can call it magic or we can call it some other way. It's only been named magic by people. We can call this whatever we want, but it's basically energy work. What it is, you don't have to call it magic because it's energy work. It happens in churches, it happens in temples, it happens in places of worship, and it happens in my practice as well. It's energy work. So, same as when I perform a spell, it happens in those places of worship as well. Now, why do they see it as something different? Why do they see everything else as something wrong, and what they're doing as something that's not magic, that's not, energy work? Because a lot of religions kind of don't like the word energy either, or energy work. I don't know why. It is how it is, I guess. But that is what's happening. Let's use our logic. Yes, let's. So these are just facts, and it's kind of the same way. Sometimes it will work and sometimes it will not. So sometimes, people will actually get magically healed, magically cured, and sometimes they will not. Same as with spell work, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. What does it that depend about? There's a bunch of things, and sometimes it's just not meant to be, and therefore there's no way it's gonna happen. It is what it is. It doesn't always work. It would be beautiful if it would, but it doesn't. But basically, that is what's happening there, right? And yeah, I don't understand why people are not more rational about it and kind of logical and just see, okay, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, it's not the same thing, but it is when you think about it. So, yeah, white magic is nothing to fear of. Magic is a natural thing given to us by, God or whatever you want to call the higher forces or any other forces, whatever you please to believe in. It's here for a reason. And yes, so that's if you would be afraid of me performing a spell for you, it would be the same as you would be afraid of, going to a church or something, in my eyes at least. So even though there is nothing to be afraid of, I I fully understand that some people are, and that's totally okay. Honestly, like your mental health is my number one priority, and if having a spell done would mean that you would have sleepless nights and be scared of something bad happening to you, I don't want to put you through that. I don't. And that's just my decision, and that's what I think. And I think that's the only way to be fair. Okay. Now, this was not a question, but it's something that I kind of want to address because I saw somewhere, I read somewhere, of course, this was again, I think, somebody religious or something, I'm not sure. But it was about the tarot cards, and these people were saying, or this person was saying, that the messages that readers receive in the cards are coming from demons and the devil, and um, it's just obviously people who have no idea about the tarot, and they haven't researched it at all, and they're just viewing it as something bad, something wrong. You can't be getting messages, it's just not right. um it's just ignorance basically, and the messages that we receive through tarot are from spirit guides. They're not from demons. And we receive a lot of advice through tarot readings, as you know. It's not The problem is that these people that talk so negatively about the tarot, they don't even know what it's mainly used for. They think it's like a fortune telling tool, which it's essentially not. It's reading energies, and it's mainly used to give advice. So the demons, let's be logical again, would not give you good advice, would they? However, spirit guides, they would, because their mission is to guide us and help us. And everybody has spirit guides, and everybody has guardian angels. And even, religious people believe that we have guardian angels. So there you go. So, again, nothing to be afraid of when it comes to the tarot cards. But if somebody really is, and wants to get a reading but is afraid of it, I would recommend not to go through it. That's my recommendation. If you don't feel comfortable with it, if you are afraid of it, don't do it. It's simple as that. Anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned some things, and yeah, love you. Bye.